Afternoon, everybody. I had to jump on here and make a quick video, man. I'm having a conversation with somebody, right? And we're having a conversation about, the Oregon out there in Oregon, how they come up with this new law. And the new law, I don't quote me on it, but it speaks of how, long as you don't have no warrants or no major record and nothing like that, then the officers, whoever you come in contact with, can give you an option of going to jail or talking to somebody that's going through counseling or whatever like that, for basically almost writing you out a ticket or citation or something of that nature. And I'm like, hold on. For me personally, it just don't sound right. Where's the police going to have time to say, okay, you get caught with this little gram or whatever. Now, if you don't have no, we're gonna run your name and everything come back clean. We're gonna say, okay, well, we can sit here for a minute and you can talk to somebody to try to get you some counseling right on the spot, and we go from there. If I'm understanding this correctly, BS, all BS. You understand me? BS. You tell me where and in Portland, there's a lot of drug addicts in Portland, I know this. I've lived on the street. I understand what the situation is. They decriminalized drugs. I forgot which year it was, but they decriminalized drugs up to a certain amount. And so a lot of the people from surrounding states came to Oregon and Portland and became part of the homeless community. And that was like it just spread all over throughout Portland, and there was a lot of people from other states coming in. I like to say that basically what Portland allowed was for other states to clean out their rubbish. You know what I'm saying? Go to Portland is legal. You see what I'm saying? So get out of our city. You know what I mean? And so a lot of people went to Oregon, Portland, Oregon, and became part of the homeless community where drugs was, to a certain amount, wasn't a crime. And so this went on for quite some time. And the homeless community just got real bad in downtown Portland. It even moved out to the southwest, northeast. I mean, all throughout Portland, it just got bad. So it got so bad to the point where they were spreading out to the nice neighborhoods and nice areas. And that's when they was like, okay, we got to do a stop to this. Well, check this out. Y'all the ones who did it. Y'all the ones who allowed the drugs to be decriminalized so all this rubbish from all these other cities can come and just take over the city. But now you want to come up with a new law. Now you want to criminalize it again. Excuse me. Now you want to criminalize it again. Okay, I hear you. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Um, and this new law, I don't understand it. You know what I mean? But I'm arguing with an individual. I'm like, it sounds like BS. It just sounds like BS. And so I brought something up to her attention, and I want to say this, that our government, whatever the state you live in, whatever city you live in, whatever like that, they publicize the African American drug use and anybody in the poverty level. You know what I'm saying? Don't matter the nationality. You could be white, black, Chinese, whatever. If you're at the poverty level and you're a part of this, this society of drug use and things like that, then you're a part of the problem. And they don't have no problem publicizing it. But what they don't publicize is what I was trying to tell her is the American Caucasian race when they have their opiate use and the pills, the prescription pills. At one point, it was very rampant, prescription pills, and it still is. They talk about it, but they don't talk about it. But let it be some crack cocaine or let it be some methamphetamines. They're gonna put it all, they're gonna blast it all over the news. But they won't talk about is the prescription pills that's being taken advantage of, and people are very highly addicted to the opiates, whether it be the prescription pills, and then it goes, once they get done with the prescription pills, they go to the heroin. And once they're done with the heroin, they go what? To fentanyl? Understand that the game our government plays, they play a game that's dirty. And the FDA is behind it all. You understand what I'm saying? It's about money. It's about money. I'm gonna break something down to you, like, okay, in Portland, right? this is how they brought methamphetamines into play. First, they had cocaine. All right, everybody was not everybody. There was people using cocaine, whether they was cooking it, whether they was snorting it, whether they was shooting it. People was using cocaine. Well, cocaine came in the powder form. So to get people to jump from cocaine to crystal meth was a large jump. It wasn't everybody wasn't gonna catch on as quickly. So what they had to do, they implemented crank. Now, if anybody know what crank is, it's a powder. So your mind, you could relate to this powder form because it reminds you of cocaine. So it the snorters, you know what I'm saying? The snorters can relate to it. And so, but here's the thing about the crank, it's just as powerful as methamphetamines, as crystal meth. However, it comes in a powder form like cocaine. So you're like, okay, I'm willing to try that. Who's on cocaine, snorting cocaine, looking at something look like glass going up your nose? You know, I'm like, man, you can keep that. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? So you know they had to implement the crank, and like I said, crank came in powder form, and so now you got your powder users snorting powder. Now, I remind you, this also affected the white communities. It affected the black community, and this is our government. So once they have implemented the crank into the society, you know, and everybody got used to that, your tolerance got a little bit higher, right? So snorting cocaine or smoking cocaine wasn't giving you the same high, because the crank was giving you high like methamphetamines, like crystal meth. It was through the roof. You understand what I'm saying? And it lasted a lot longer, just like heroin. Heroin was cheaper. It was stronger. So once the people that got hooked on the prescription pills transferred and went over to the heroin, it was easier to get. But that's the street drug, right? But that's the way it worked. So cocaine, when it switched over to crank, it was getting everybody prepared for methamphetamines. So now your tolerance is up. So now the cocaine ain't cutting it. You understand what I'm saying? Now we got to use this other stuff. And that's the way it works. That's the way the system works. And if you don't think that your government played any parts in any of this, then y'all crazy. Every last one of you crazy. Your government and everyone plays a part in this, because they're the ones who's getting it off the shelves and bringing it in, and allowing it to come in and allowing people to use it. But what I was trying to say earlier is that you know, you don't hear about, you know, the big prescription epidemic of people being hooked on prescription pills. You don't hear about a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear about them, you know, college kids and these soccer moms and all these type of people that are addicted to these opiate type medications. And because it's about the FDA, you know, they're the ones who got control of this. So they don't want a black eye. You don't understand what I'm saying? So they don't want to publicize it like that. But it's big. It's very big. And just like it went from cocaine to crank to meth, you going from prescription pills to heroin to fentanyl. All three of them is in line with each other. Um, it's it's amazing, man, how this stuff works and how our government is, you know, drugging us and allowing it to all come in, and then they want to play a part like they're fixing the situation when they created the problem. So you know, just I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. You just have to be aware of our government. It's our government that we need to just, you know, get a handle on. You know what I mean? Because it don't make no sense. It really don't. Um, you know, like I said, you know, they publicize, you know, the African American communities. You know, they publicize everything that we do, you know what I'm saying, whether it's drugs or whatever. But, you know, the white community has it just as bad. Just as bad. And they don't publicize it enough. And my thing is, and I'm gonna speak very honest about it, is that for the whites to still feel as inferior to the blacks, they can't publicize it. They can't, because then we'll look at them like, hell, they just weak as anybody else. But for them to feel inferior, they can't look that way through any type of media. But the truth of it is they got problems just like we got problems. And so is it fair? No, it ain't fair. But you know, there's things that need to be done. You know, a lot of things that need to be done. And we need to start focusing on the black community so much and focus on the problem. Let's focus on our government. Let's focus on the people who are allowing this stuff to come in. And again, if you just follow, you know, the tracks, you understand, to how this stuff is come out, excuse me. If you follow the tracks about how this stuff comes into our communities, it makes plenty sense. Again, they go from cocaine to crank to crystal meth. That's in the urban communities, and that's not just blacks. You know, you got whites, you got Latinos, you got Asians, you got a lot of people dealing with these things in the urban communities. And then if you want to go to suburbia, we can look at prescription pills. Let's look at heroin, and we can look at fentanyl. Look at the opiates. You know, so if you don't think that they're destroying everyone, you know, with whatever gender they got going on, then you're wrong. If you think you're exempt from being targeted, then you're wrong. Everyone has to take accountability of what's going on in their community and stop being like, okay, long as we're not seen, then we're okay doing what we're doing. Bullshit. Your people dying just like our people are dying. They're killing us by the thousands. But I will say this, and I will always say this: it's all about choice. You got choice to use it. You got choice to not to use it. You know, I don't care where they put it. You have the choice to use it. And if you're on prescription pills, and you know you're on heroin, opiates is one of the hardest things to kick besides alcohol. And so please, you know, get your help if you need the help. You know what I'm saying? Stop allowing our government to kill us at will. And we're just accepting it. And I don't care what drug that may be. You know what I mean? It's time to take charge of our lives and get back into focus and think about our government and what's going on in our governments throughout the world, and do what needs to be done. All right, that's the end of my conversation. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. One.